Welcome, everybody, to Jen's on the Reel. As usual, I'm Jen.
And hi, I'm Jen.
And we're so excited to have you guys tuning in right now. But before we move any further, I'm going to ask you to please click and subscribe, click that like button, and comment along the way. We'd love to hear what you have to say. And today we're going to talk about the differences that we consider to be super interesting between foreign situations, probably living, financial movements, etc., and versus the U.S. And right now, there's a lot of conversations about people moving out. Actually, from the U.S., there's like the
Yes,
largest influx of people are moving out of the U.S.
and I
Um,
think also for retirement purposes, people are planning on
yeah,
moving out of the U.S. for retirement purposes as well, which is
yeah.
interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I might be one of those people.
I could see that. I think a lot of people are aiming to retire sooner. As granted, we did have a larger boomer population that stayed within the U.S. There's a lot of benefits in the U.S. when you're elderly, but considering that a lot of people are seeking places elsewhere, I'm thinking maybe it's more a financial thing.
No, at least for me, it is. I want to try to stretch my retirement money
Yeah,
as far as I can, to live comfortably, you
yeah,
know. And it's a lot of stuff because if you think about it, people don't talk about it, but even health, which me and Marcel have been talking about this lately, like we need to have enough money not just to live good and to travel. Great, that's great, but what about if something bad happens?
yeah.
What if one of us gets dementia? What if one of us gets something and we need now medical help or a good facility to put one of us in? You never know. A nurse, a home
A
care.
home care.
You know what I mean? Something. So you have to kind of prepare for that too. So you kind of want your money to stretch out as much as possible.
I agree. I think that the biggest hurdle that a lot of people thinking about this process have is where is the money going to come from? How are they going to prepare themselves or put themselves in a position where the money that they're making in the US is going to extend enough when you're in another country? We already know that being in another country is cheaper, you know?
Well, for now, you don't, but nobody can predict the future. So,
Yeah.
like right now, yes, because remember the dollar goes up and down,
Yeah.
and it depends. Do they have euros? Do they have pesos?
Yes.
I remember going to Argentina a few years ago, and it was 3 to 1, so it was super cheap.
Yeah.
Because imagine a $300 a night hotel would cost you $100,
Yeah. Yeah.
basically.
Well, think about this. So I'm thinking about going to Dominican Republic. My husband and I have been talking about this extensively because, we're about to be empty nesters in about 2 years. So we're like, okay, what do we do? Do we follow them or do we go outside? And one of the biggest places that we love is Dominican Republic. And there it's 60 to 1.
Yeah, I love the Dominican Republic too. First of all, it's not far.
Yeah.
It's close by because you're close to home, and the weather is amazing. The
Yeah.
people, I remember when I went, the people are amazing, super nice.
Yeah.
I
It's a
mean, I
lot of
know I
fun
was a
over there.
tourist, but still.
No, no. I mean, I grew up there partially, and so it is a lot of fun over there. Obviously, you want to be in a good neighborhood, and but one of the things that I do remember growing up there is I always had a maid or had somebody
Yes.
that would cook for us. Even though my mother was a stay-at-home mom, she would also cook as well. But there's always somebody there in the home that you hire. Most of the homes actually have a maid's quarter. You know,
Yes, my dad too. My dad, when he was living in Argentina, always had a lady that would come to the house every day. She would
see?
come every day. She would cook, clean, do everything, and then she would leave. She wouldn't stay there, but she would come every day. And it was like nothing when he would like.
Well, and that's the dream. We did math on this, and we spoke to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, like, we work on numbers with Chat, and it gave us you need roughly about $4,000 a month to be able to live a luxury lifestyle in Dominican Republic. This is
Wow.
like going to restaurants, like really good restaurants, having a maid, everything.
Well, sign me up.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
I think I can manage that between me and Marcel.
Right. And and so we have different ways that we develop income, or my husband develops income. But anyway, residual format, and also his VA disability and stuff like that, which I strongly suggest you guys figure out ways to earn residual income, whether it's through real estate, right,
Right.
where you it's not residual but it's passive,
Right.
you know,
To a certain point.
to a certain point, yeah. But it does extend itself enough in another country so that you can go ahead and
Oh,
live
yeah.
that
So
lifestyle.
my godparents, my dad retired in Buenos Aires. He retired over there. My godparents also retired over there. And they still get the retirement from over here, like Social
I
Security and all
see.
that stuff. And he has it over there. So dollars over there goes a long way.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. They live there like kings, you know?
It's such a big difference, you know, and we love, you know, what we love about the US is obviously the safety, the availability, the things that we have access to, right? But when you start really thinking about the nitty gritty, like what you really need, you know, the attention you need, if once you get older, you know, the extra help or food and all those things, you can get these things a lot
And
cheaper
let me
in
tell
these
you, the
places.
healthcare, I feel like the healthcare here is not as good as healthcare in other places.
Because I
Obviously,
believe
not
it's,
everywhere,
yeah.
but in certain places, the healthcare is like way better.
I think in the US, they do a lot of research and a lot of stuff, but they've compartmentalized healthcare. So it's like, you know, the one
Yeah,
doctor doesn't do everything anymore, doesn't know everything about you. So they pass it on to different doctors. And somewhere along the line, communication kind of gets hit a
I
little
don't
bit.
know.
It's similar to like, you know, when
I
you,
don't know. I'm saying I've been going to the doctor a lot lately because of the age thing, and I'm not impressed, people. I'm not impressed.
I can understand that completely. You know,
Plus, the insurance thing, don't even get me started. That's
yeah.
tremendo scam
Hmm.
because you people pay so much for insurance, and it's just for what? For them to overbill? Because
Yeah.
I've done insurance and I've done out of pocket. You can't compare.
Well, that's how doctors make more money. It's, you know, the
Scam.
overpayment, the insurance willing to pay a certain amount, right?
Yeah.
It would be the other way around if the insurance wasn't
Yeah, it's
involved,
a scam.
which is actually a good point because, you know, you'll pay for services, everything done in Dominican Republic with the doctor. You're talking about like X-rays, mammograms, whatever you know, all these
Mhm.
things, and you'll spend, I don't know, $200, $300 for everything, right?
I know, I'm not even kidding. I swear, I was telling my friend this the other day. I'm thinking of going to one of these countries, right? And they do the whole body scan and they check everything, like from head to toe. They check to see if you have cancer, like all this stuff. And
Yeah.
it's not even, doesn't cost that much considering what you're getting.
But
Sure.
it
And
comes.
you can get a vacation out of it,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, I mean, and it's reflective. So I started looking at, okay, how much does a doctor make in Dominican Republic? And a doctor in Dominican Republic doesn't make more than $25,000 a year.
Wow.
Yeah. And so we think it's very little. For them it probably goes a long way, but it's probably like making $100,000 here. But still it's a really big disparity
No, yeah,
in
I think in
comparison.
Europe, so in Europe, the healthcare, I believe it's free. But people also can pay, which is
Their
that's
own
where you get
private.
the better, facilities, better doctors. So yeah, they have free healthcare because, but supposedly the healthcare is really good in Europe, like Spain and all these places. My aunt and my uncle just bought a house and moved to Spain last year, and they love it.
You know, the one thing I wonder about a lot, in addition to healthcare, is also purchasing anything in other countries. You know,
That makes me so nervous.
yeah,
It's not the same like here.
purchasing or selling. Like my mother has a lot in Dominican Republic that I would like to sell for her and get her like a place, like a little apartment or something. You
Uh
know,
huh. And
and I haven't even dabbled into that because I'm like, I don't even know where to go. First of all, I don't know how the process it takes place. So I gotta speak to somebody
hello,
that,
ask ChatGPT.
right, right.
Well,
Chat might have the answer.
I'm selling an apartment now in Argentina that belonged to my dad. So my dad passed away in 2020 and I had to do a probate. I couldn't get into the country. I didn't get back into that country until like 2023 because of COVID. So then we started all the probate stuff. We're in 2026, people. I'm still going through the damn probate. Everything takes so
What a
long over
mission.
there. And then they close like in the beginning of the year for like 2 months or something like that because I don't know, something. They tell me and I'm just like, what? And then, so I'm selling the apartment and I was telling you this earlier. It's so funny because my cousin's like, so yeah, the money, all this is through like messaging. Oh yeah, because the paper, I'm like, oh, you have a power of attorney, just sign it, whatever. And she's like, okay, but you're gonna come get the money. And I'm just like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, just go. I can just like stick it in the bank.
You know,
Like,
just wire it.
she's like, okay, call me later. And I'm like, okay. I call her and she's like, okay, I don't think you understand. She's like, they're going to give you the money. I'm like, I know. The money, I know. And she's like, yes. I go, okay, but in dollars or pesos? Because I'm like, in pesos, fair, I don't want that shit. She's like, no, in dollars. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, so do I have to put a
I'm
bank
ready.
account?
Yeah.
Like, what do I have to do? She's like, no, they're going to give it to you in cash. Like,
Oh.
cash, like bills.
I don't know how they track
And I'm like,
that.
what? Like in a suitcase? Like what? Like what? Like I'm gonna feel like a drug
You
dealer.
better grab one of those markers that ensures that each bill is
Like I don't
real.
even know how that even works. And I'm just like, what? What do you mean? Like cash? They're like, yeah.
Just make sure the bills are real.
And over there, oh no. And I want to see what bills they give me because they're the little head bills and the big head bills, and then they call it like the blue dollar.
Ah,
Like it's a whole thing with the dollars over there.
what they have
Because
old
even when you go
currency?
exchange money, I remember you got more if you had the hundreds with the big head.
Really?
Or the money with the big head versus the one with the little head because it's
No
older.
way.
Yeah. So we would be like, okay, do you have anyone with the big heads? And we'd be like separating the ones with
No
the big
way.
heads and the little heads. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then we watch the dollar. I wouldn't exchange
it
all
should
the
be exactly the same though.
no, and I wouldn't exchange all the money at once because I was playing with the market.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
then some days it was like almost $4 for a dollar. Like it was like four or
4 to
something.
1, yeah.
So I would wait, then I would exchange like maybe $200-300, and you'd spend nothing because then you go. I imagine I took my whole family to dinner multiple times at really nice restaurants, bought them wine, gave them money. It was like when dollars there go so far. Now the economy's doing better,
Yeah.
so the dollar now is not
Yeah.
but it's good
as
for them
powerful.
because it's good for us when the dollar's good, for us.
Yeah,
But
of
for
course,
them,
because we take advantage of that.
imagine,
Yeah.
there's a lot of poverty over there too.
You know, talking about poverty, I remember when we had gone to Cuba. I think you were in that trip.
Yes, my grandmother almost killed me for that. She was so mad at me. I stepped foot on that. She's like, no, tú no toques pie en ese país. She told me like that.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
like, ay,
how
abuela,
funny.
like, I'm going on a cruise. Like, don't you want me to see where you were,
Yeah, you
where
gotta
you were
explore.
born? She's like, no, that
Interesting.
does look nothing. I'll show you pictures. She's
Oh,
like, no.
wow.
She like don't give them money.
You know, there were a lot of beautiful homes that were dilapidated. They were like falling apart and stuff like that.
No, they own
Unfortunately.
and we're tourists, so they were showing us the good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then so let's talk about that. So they were showing us the good stuff, but the good stuff
Wasn't
even
that
in
even
the
that
meal,
good?
it wasn't even that good. There wasn't a lot, and I understand that Cuba is completely different.
Let me tell you how happy I was. We were on a cruise and didn't have to stay in a hotel over there. I would have died.
I know. You imagine? No, but in Argentina, do you find that the food is abundant?
Oh my God, it's so good.
It's good.
The
and
food just
abundant,
tastes
yeah.
better. The food's so good. I mean, Italy too. There's a huge
I haven't
difference
been to
between
Italy
the
yet.
food here and the food abroad
Yeah.
because I can eat a bowl of gnocchis here and I'll be rolling out of the restaurant dying. I ate a plate of gnocchis in Rome and it was like, I remember looking at it, I'm like, I can't eat all that. I'm going to freaking explode.
Yeah.
I ate it, no problem. I felt great, light on my feet. Like it wasn't like heavy. I can't even explain it. Everything tastes better. The meat, like in Argentina, the meat is like,
Well, the
so
food I
good.
think is just more natural there. You know, here there's mass production. There's the highest level of obesity here in the United States, and we can
I
have this
believe it.
conversation another time. And it's over 70% of the people
But if you
based
look
on
at the
the obesity
foods,
rating,
but
scale.
they've been saying it now lately. If you look, the food ingredients here compared to the food ingredients in other countries is not even the
Completely
same.
different. Yeah.
But the difference is over there, like in Argentina, I'm sure in Dominican Republic, I know in Spain they do this. They don't buy groceries for like a month or for like 2 weeks, or
Yeah.
nobody
They
does
buy
that.
it in the
In
moment.
days, like
Mhm.
they might buy something for like 2 days, or maybe buy something and then maybe go get the meat for that day.
Yeah.
But and there's always like little markets by the houses, so like you always just
You
walk
just
to
go
the
real
market
quick.
and you
Yeah.
pick up
There's
what
a
you
lot
have
of
for the
walking.
day. Yeah, a lot of, so they don't have to put
Yeah.
all that stuff. Like even the chicken tastes
Well,
weird now. It tastes like gummy. The texture of the chicken nowadays is weird. It really grosses me
Well,
out.
first of all, chicken is never that big.
No,
That's a
like the breasts are
humongous
like
chicken
this.
breast. Okay. So there's obviously a lot. There's medications that they're giving these animals because they're all housed together. Hormones.
Because they
everything
need to
to
get
like
them to grow
to
faster.
produce faster,
Right.
and all of that we're consuming it, right? So that's putting us in a bad position health wise. But in addition to that, I think there's a lot of waste here. Like you said, people go, they purchase what they need to consume for the moment, probably purchase every single day something new for that day. Whereas here, we're buying ahead of time,
And
and
then we're throwing stuff
and then
away.
we're throwing stuff away.
I can't tell you how much I hate throwing food away. And
I
I
know,
do it.
same here.
I do it because I'll take out something, I'll defrost it. So I try to have like a system. So I won't defrost anything to cook, like if it's Thursday. Because I know the next day is Friday, and let's be honest,
You're
I'm
not
not
gonna
going to
cook.
cook. I don't even want to cook on a Monday, much less on a Friday. You know what
I'm
I
on
mean?
the opposite spectrum because we have Shabbat, but
Right. So I don't cook. Like I don't defrost anything. Like I start defrosting stuff Sunday, Monday. And then somewhere along the line, I stop. But the other day, I don't know what happened. I thought it was Tuesday and it was Thursday, and I defrosted all that stuff. So I had to start during the weekend. I ended up cooking everything.
see, no, I started purchasing meats on the day that I need them, or maybe the day before.
Okay, so when it comes to meat, I'm half Argentine, so I'm very picky with my meat. I won't buy the meat unless I'm gonna cook it that day.
Okay.
And I'll go like to like if I'm gonna like buy a churrasco or entraña or something like that, un vacío, I go to like either
Gracianos or something like that. Yeah.
Gracianos or this other little carniceria that's by my house, and I buy it
Do you
there.
like Martinez? Have you been?
I have. I haven't been there in a long time. I used to go buy meats there,
Yeah, because they have good pricing. They have a lot of
and then you can
meats
buy
there.
in bulk.
For those of you that don't know these places, you need to check them out. Gracianos and Martinez for meats.
Yeah, and there's
Costco's
don't
good, but these are different.
yeah, there's this little place right by my house. It's on Sunset and 102nd. It's a restaurant, Argentinian restaurant, but you can also buy like meats there,
Okay.
and
Okay.
it's really good. The food
Well,
is
now
really
I know.
good. I eat there a lot because it's
So,
right by my house.
see, and those are good habits. That you're purchasing your meat pretty much as fresh as possible.
Yeah, I
right?
try. And I don't like to, and I don't, because I don't really go to the grocery store because I Instacart everything or
Same.
have it delivered.
No
But
shame.
but when it comes to like the meats, I'll go and I'll actually get in my car and go.
Have you ever tried Wild Fork?
Yes, I have actually.
So
I actually had it the other day.
okay,
They
and it's
had, like,
actually pretty good.
It's pretty good. I had these burgers. They were pretty good. And I bought, what was it that I bought? Like chicken. And the chicken wasn't bad. Because some of the chicken, I'm telling you, tastes gummy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing with Wild Fork is I don't know where they're, to be quite honest, I don't know all the details on the back end. But the one thing I do know is that the food doesn't get defrosted to then be frozen again
Oh, yeah, you shouldn't do
manhandled
that.
multiple times. But that's what they do in Publix, actually.
Oh.
They get it frozen, they defrost it, they put it in for display for you
And
to
then
see
we
it,
freeze
and
it.
then we freeze it again. Granted, it's kept a certain cold temperature, but it's being
You're
manhandled.
not supposed to refreeze.
Yeah, yeah. So, whereas Wild Fork doesn't have that third party situation, so you get it as fresh as possible too.
So basically, I feel the food is better in
Mhm.
foreign countries.
Yes, yes.
The way they do things
You got
is
to figure
weird.
it out here.
Yeah, so it's funny, like the probate, all that stuff, everything takes a long time. Everybody's in chill mode. Here, we're like, electric.
Okay, so in Dominican Republic, I remember they used to have siestas.
Yes, they close and they don't open till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
So when I was little, I had no freaking idea that that's what was going on. I just knew that they didn't open again till 3 o'clock. Now I went with David and the kids to Dominican Republic a few years ago, and when that happened, I was like, "What's going on?" So like in
I
my
can't even
head,
get a Coke.
I'm freaking hungry. Because we're not in a regular, eating schedule. We work. We
Yeah.
just eat whenever, and shoot, I don't even eat out sometimes in the middle of the day.
No, over there, everybody has lunch there. Like, and for hours, they leave. Even school. School, they break it down to two sessions.
2 parts, yeah.
So it's funny, like here, I feel like the lunch thing. I don't know. I've been in real estate almost my whole life. But then I know in my office, and none of the girls ever like, hey, bye, peace out, I'm going to lunch. Nobody does that.
It's like work is priority.
Like they eat at their desk.
Yeah.
Even when like I bought the whole office lunch the other day, and everybody would grab their lunch and went straight to their desk. I was like, man, we're not even gonna break bread together, like But nobody. It was end of the month. Nobody had time.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't even know over the. Do people even take lunch here anymore? Because I know in my office nobody takes lunch, and none of the offices, because they're always working. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. We've tried the lunch things, like bringing lunch to work,
yeah, a lot of the girls bring lunch to work.
yeah, and that sort of works to have
But
something, but
they
it's
do
like,
eat, but they're
but
eating
they're
at their
working and
desk.
eating. Yeah.
Even though they do try, like I know some of them try, they try to eat, but a phone call comes in and I'll take it, like
So my mom works at Macy's, and at Macy's they force her to take a break, and she
because they're
hates it.
supposed to.
I know,
There's labor
but
laws.
she hates it. She's like, "For what? What am I gonna, in
What am I
Spanish?
supposed to do for
What am I
15
supposed
minutes?
to be doing for 15
It's true because they
minutes?"
give you 50. You're supposed to
Yeah.
get 50 minutes.
She
Then
goes,
an
"I'm
hour
losing my
lunch,
hour.
then
I'm
an
losing
hour
my-"
lunch, and
Yeah.
another 15 minutes.
You don't understand how many times she's made it to the house complaining about how she had to take her lunch break because she was past the timing, and how she lost her hour of wage or her time,
Yeah,
that
that
pay
time.
for that time frame. But yeah, it's hysterical. We certainly have a lot of differences, foreign and here. We do have a lot of pluses, but you do
I
have
guess
to
it's
find
also
your ways.
habits where you
Yeah.
get used to. Eventually, you get used to it.
I mean, I love the moving. Like, I go to a restaurant, I want to be, assisted right away, and you go.
Yeah, I like to be assisted right away, but I like when I go out to eat, I like to be at least 2-3 hours.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Like,
don't
don't be
like when
rushing
they
me.
come to me a million times to see what I'm doing, or here's a check just in case. You know what I mean? It's
You're like in a
no.
conversation, you're like, hello, I was saying something.
Yeah, yep. I hate that. That's so annoying. But yeah, we would like to know what you guys think. What are your experiences, foreign versus US? Do you prefer here? Do you prefer there? And again, we want to thank you for joining us today, for listening in. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, click that like button, comment on anything that I guess made you feel some type of way. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
All right.